As the old saying goes, better late than never. Let's get to it, shall we? I'm John Rentham with my AEW Double or Nothing 2022 predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments, please. I'm using that old saying because AEW Rampage ended just a few hours ago, and I thought the card was pretty much set. I thought, okay, they're just going to decide who's going to face off against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. But alas, no. We don't have 11 matches for the final card. We have checks, notes. Let's see. Okay, let's check this. Carry the 1. Divide by 4. 13 matches on the final card. Fucking hell. This thing isn't going to be over till at least midnight on Sunday, if not a little bit afterwards. So anybody that has to work in the morning on Monday, you're all fucked. Let's just ingest tons of caffeine to the point that our brains want to explode. But that being said, AEW does only do a few pay-per-views a year, so they feel more special. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing, though. A few of these matches don't really belong on pay-per-view. That being said, I'm excited for some of these matches. I actually think a few of them could be potential Match of the Year candidates. And then there are some I don't give two flying fucks about. Let's start with the buy-in match. Hook! Sorry. And Danhausen taking on Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. It could be a handicap match, or Sterling just takes the pin, and Hook and Danhausen are going to get the victory. I don't like what they're doing with Hook here, but whatever. Some people seem to like it. I'm just not the biggest Danhausen fan. I don't hate him. I just don't really care for the game. I don't get it. You either get it or you don't, and I don't get it. But Hook will hopefully come out a bigger star after all this is said and done. That being said, that's the buy-in match. At least that's the lone buy-in match. I think they're going to put at least one of the matches on the main card on the buy-in. Because honestly, you can't have 12 matches on a main pay-per-view. What is this? Later WCW and they went all fucking nuts? Tony Khan has some really good goddamn ideas, but he is making some of the same mistakes that WCW did. And it's getting kind of infuriating. Well, let's go to the main card. Jade Cargill with the baddies. Red Velvet, Kiera Hogan, and whoever the fuck else they have. I assume they're going to add other women there. They're going to add other people, possibly space aliens from Mars, Venus, or even Uranus. So Jade's taking on Anna Jay. Anna Jade, as it were. That was a missed opportunity of a pun. AEW TBS Championship match. Yay. Their first match wasn't that great. I don't recall it being that great. Jade's going to win. Please don't make this match go too long. Please don't. Jade is just, she's not ready for this. She looks great. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Jade's going to win. Whatever. The House of Black. Malachi Black. Brody King and Buddy. Don't call me Murphy, but call me Matthews. Taking on Death Triangle. Pac, Penta, and Phoenix with Alex Abrahantes. It's going to be a trios match. Ooh, fancy. You don't even know. They ain't added a stipulation to this yet. I fully expect them to add some kind of stipulation. Not that it matters, because they tend to just let things go to the point where the referee could have somebody outside the ring for 5 minutes and not fucking count them out. But I think the House of Black will win. Maybe. I honestly don't care, and I pretty much like all 6 of these guys. I have not cared about this feud at all. It has not really meant anything. House of Black will win. Have Pac take the pin. I mean, and Pac, whatever. He looks great, but he's traveling back and forth, because he wants to live where he lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. But he's only going to be brought in for the occasional shots. That being said, these groups they each have a great look, but I haven't cared for this feud. It's been off and on. It's been back and forth and whatever. And the Penta character isn't any different than the previous one that he had. So he has a tombstone and a shovel to bury this feud, hopefully 6 feet under soon. Anyway, the Hardys take on the non-Hardys. The Hardys against the Nardys. Probably could have thought about that a little bit better, but the Hardys versus the Bucks. Elite versus Delete. This is going to be a disaster. Because it's not going to be like the match they had in Ring of Honor like about 5 years prior when, just before the Hardys returned to WWE in shocking fashion at WrestleMania 33. Even though everybody knew they were going to return, it was still a shocking, great moment where that stadium, open-air stadium, held the noise. I think the Hardys are going to win, It's just going to contain every single goddamn move in existence, as is tradition with the Young Bucks. I think that is a pact they signed with Satan, as it were. Oh, wait, no, they're Christian as fuck. They wouldn't sign with that. Christians are all good people. That's going to get me a lot of hate in the comments for no reason. The Hardys are going to stumble like drunk ostriches. They can't even move. And they're going to win. The Hardys reunion is toast. You might as well, though, try to do what you can with the Hardys. Maybe have them win the tag titles for a short run, and then the Bucks can win them back or something. I don't know. They should have built to this from the beginning. And honestly, then there might have been a little more story here, but it has become obvious neither Hardy can go anymore. And the Bucks, you're going to get the same goddamn shit you always get with them. Granted, some of their matches have stood out, and I have enjoyed some of their stuff in the past, 2018, 2019, even the last couple years. But for every one of those that I enjoy, there are so many matches where it's like, oh, it's just the same. FTR is not on the goddamn show. Why would you have the best tag team on the goddamn show? Let's have the washed up Hardys and the non-Hardys, the Nardys, as it were. But yeah, the Hardys will win. And then the Jericho Appreciation Society. Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, the CPA that has no personality. The former 2.0 and Daniel Garcia taking on Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, Bryan Danielson, John Moxley with William Regal. It's not a stadium stampede, it's anarchy in the arena. What the fuck is the difference? Seriously, what the fuck's the difference? I expect pre-tape stuff to be mixed in, and I also expect them to do a bunch of cinematic stuff, and I expect it to be convoluted and ridiculous, and I don't expect to care, because I haven't really cared about much of anything that Chris Jericho's done lately. Eddie and friends will win. They have to. Why would the Jericho Appreciation Society win? I mean, you could have Santana Ortiz take the loss, I suppose, but you could have one member of 2.0 take the loss, and it really wouldn't fucking matter. It's just Eddie and friends will win, and this is going to go way, way too long. Like, if it's a brawl around maybe the backstage area into the ring, and they keep it short and sweet, 15 minutes tops, there could be something good here. But they're going to have this go way too long. And I haven't cared about this feud because I don't like Jericho anymore. I mean, I haven't liked Jericho pretty much since, I'd say, the very beginning of his run in AEW. And even then, he was starting to get ridiculous because his work in New Japan was starting to look like shit, and he's physically looked like shit, and he still does. Even after losing the weight. Can't fucking go anymore. Wheeler Yuta's not going to be part of this, by the way, because he's in Japan as part of the Best of Super Juniors, which is fine. They did enough to establish him a little bit, and he's actually been shining over there. If they wanted to have him be part of their big New Japan shows, i.e. Dominion, and it wouldn't have to be part of the G1, but if they want him to be part of the occasional New Japan show, now travel restrictions are lifting, they could do that. That being said, Eddie and friends will win. Wardlow versus MJF. If Wardlow wins, he will be released from his contract with MJF. But if MJF wins, Wardlow can never sign with AEW. Now, never is going to be in quotation marks. I say that because MJF's going to find every nefarious way to win. He's going to bring out Spears. I don't think he's going to bring out Sterling. He's going to bring out everybody. Now, they might have something where FTR come out, and FTR end up helping Wardlow win to break up the Pinnacle, because FTR are full-blown baby faces, and it would be monumentally stupid to turn them again, because the crowd fucking loves them organically. And then you could get MJF with a few more goons against Wardlow and FTR, and you could have some backup there. But you also could have MJF win, and then you could have it where FTR, get pissed. Like, what the hell? We're not going to have anything to do with you beating up, or, and then say, FTR gets called out, and they're like, we're not going to beat up Wardlow. We're not going to beat him up. And then you get that split. And MJF can gloat, but Wardlow could eventually get his freedom on TV, and you can extend this program. Or you could have Wardlow win, and MJF will still make his life a living hell, but Wardlow will be released from his contract. They can go one of two ways here. I think MJF's going to win. I think he is. They've done a lot of good labors. They put a lot of stuff in front of Wardlow, but as long as they don't make Wardlow look stupid, I think that they can make this work. I think they can make this work as long as a bunch of people glom him and beat him up and everything, and there's a referee bump and there's chaos and everything, and they do things right. They can actually make it where Wardlow looks strong in defeat, But I think the crowd might actually die if Wardlow doesn't win. So I actually expect them to have Wardlow win, but I'm going to go with MJF. I'm going to go with MJF. May not be right here. So let's pick up some time. Britt Baker versus Ruby. Oh no, she got booed a ton at, on Rampage. And Britt's going to win the Owen Hart Women's Tournament match. Because look out, Britt Baker's going to win. Then Samoa Joe and Adam Cole are taking on each other in the men's Owen Hart final match. And look out, Adam Cole's going to win. And then we're going to get the couple making out. And then, I don't know, they're going to have Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae show up. Even though Candice just had a baby recently, so maybe she might not. But whatever, watch them as a couple win, and they have fucking Adam Cole in a feud with Sammy Guevara. Watch them do that. Watch them do that. And it's going to turn Adam Cole full-fledged babyface. But Britt and Adam Cole, baby, will win the goddamn thing. Or baby. I'm trying to come up with variations for that. They're both going to win because they're going to be the new power couple. Power couple that actually has talent and aren't, idiots. Darby versus Kyle O'Reilly. Expect, Bobby Fish, who's so old that, when he was in school, they didn't have history. His social security number is 1. He really remembers the Alamo. He was around before dinosaurs roamed the earth. Trying to say he's old. So he's going to interfere, and Sting's going to interfere, even though he's not medically cleared. And we're going to get chaos. Darby's going to beat Kyle O'Reilly, I guess. I don't really care, but Darby's probably going to win. They were going to do a tag match. They could have just saved this for TV. I mean, I'm sorry. I know they're paying Sting a fucking king's ransom, a Sting's ransom, as it were. Missed opportunity there. But god damn it, they don't need to load it so much. Speaking of loading it so much, Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zandt with Dan Lambert, the Sheepish Lion Dan Lambert, versus Kaz, Sammy, and Ty. Okay, so the stipulation here is that if Sky's team wins, then Kaz and Sammy can't challenge for the TNT Championship. Didn't say anything about Ty, but thankfully she won't get a chance at that. For the love of God, have Sky, Ethan, and Paige Van Zandt's first official AEW match, by the way. And it was literally announced 2 days before the pay-per-view. Good usage of, a big crossover star. Yeah, Paige Van Zandt was good in MMA. Not the best. She looks great. And this is enough crossover appeal, but just shove it there in a 6-person match. Which is probably smart, in all honesty. That way you hide the weaknesses as she will get better. And let's be honest, Ty Conte has really, really regressed. Not only in the ring, but just in the fact I don't want to fucking see her on my television anymore. So, Jurassic Express versus Starks and Hobbs versus Swerving Lee. 3-way AEW tag title match. I am convinced that Christian Cage will somehow inadvertently cost Jungle Boy, the tag titles. And we will get Starks and Hobbs as the new champions. Because Swerve got the pin on Dynamite, which, by logic, dictates that they will not be champions. I think Starks and Hobbs will end up pinning Jungle Boy inadvertently, or accidentally after the inadvertent thing from Christian Cage. And then we're going to get Christian Cage apologizing and either hitting the kill switch engage there or kill switch engage on Dynamite. And then you get that program. And then they're going to probably phase Christian out of being signed by the company. Because he has been one of the biggest busts as far as a signing. Like, he's delivered some good matches, and I'm sure that, he probably wants to take on more of a mentor role. Yeah, he showed he could still wrestle. The balloon's off the rose now. The big thing is Jungle Boy getting the big old, shine from Christian Cage. Thunder Rosa taking on Serena Deeb, AEW Women's Championship match. I love Thunder Rosa. Serena Deeb is technically sound. Serena Deeb associates with the wrong type of guys. If you know, you know. I love Thunder Rosa, and I want Thunder Rosa to win. I'm picking Thunder Rosa to win. If Thunder Rosa had held the championship for about maybe, 3 months longer, you could give it to Deeb. Don't give it to Deeb because you need to actually have a champion that can be good for your company and be dynamic and be a great spokesperson. Deeb cannot be that. Deeb is a very good wrestler. And people say, oh, she's like Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko at least showed personality at some points. He could never be world champion, but he was a great U.S. champion. Deeb ain't even good enough to be a goddamn tag team champion if they ever bring this shit in. Thunder Rosa's going to win. And then we get Adam Hangman Page against CM Punk for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. CM Punk's going to win. CM Punk is going to go heel very soon after this. He's going to have some matches, and then he's going to be showing more heelish stuff. And by the time we get to All Out, he is going to be full-fledged, dickish heel, and he's going to be loving it. And that's what Adam Hangman Page is trying to protect people from. Because if you think about it, when he became champion, world champion, like especially the second time, he was turning heel there. And he turned heel halfway through his WWE Championship run, the 434-day run. He's going to go heel. And he should. Not yet, but in a couple months, it's going to build. It's already started to build, in all honesty. And it's going to be perfectly done, hopefully, because Punk is smart like that. He's making this as smartly booked of a last run as possible. So those are my predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments, please. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. Fuck, this is going to be a long pay-per-view. I'll see you soon.